That's a little bright, but we'll deal with it. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite. Get off my. Hey, get out of here. Get. This is my damn thing. It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about right girl, right time. Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. Also, I am bringing back email sessions. If you want faster responses for cheap, link is down below in the description, okay? But I want to jump into this real fast and talk about something that I think is really important, that a lot of women I think are looking at this the wrong way, okay? And that's the whole concept of the right girl at the right time. And a lot of women, you know about the right girl thing, that's pretty common sense, okay? Either you're the girl or you're not. But when it comes to timing, the way a lot of women look at it is, well, right now he's just a player, he doesn't want to settle down, he just got out of a relationship, or he's 21 years old. What do you expect? Later on, all that will change. Things like that. That's what they think when they say timing. But as I say in my course, Attraction Academy, link down in the description, I talk about this very, very, very in depth. I talk about filling the void. And that can also be a form of timing. And what I mean by that is, sometimes it's not whether the guy's mindset is changing from I want to be a committed guy to I want to be a player, or vice versa, player to a good guy. Sometimes it's what that guy needs in the moment. And a good way to look at this is, if I'm a guy who, like, you can look at a girl, two girls, right? And one can have all these things checked off the list. And the other one can have, a good amount of things checked off the list too. I mean, I'm not saying she's a nobody, but she has some shit checked off. But at the same time, if I'm depressed and let's say I need someone who can listen and who can relate to me, I don't care how many things this girl checks off. The weight of, let's say this girl checks off the fact that she's a better listener and that she can really relate to what I'm saying because I went through it. The weight of that by itself will knock off a lot of the things that this woman has. So an analogy I would like to use, if you guys have seen the show Friends, there was an episode where one of the main characters, Ross.
Here we go, pivot! Pivot! Pivot!
Had to choose between a couple women to commit to. One of them was the main character, Rachel, and another one was just a girl he was talking to. And the other people, the cast of the Friends, they were like, well, make a pros and cons list of each of them. And so he made a pros and cons list. And he read Rachel's, and Rachel's had some pros and a lot of cons and things like that. And then he read the other girls, and she had a lot of pros, and they're like, well, and he paused, and they're like, well, what are the cons? The Friends were like, what are the cons? What are the cons? And he just looked up and said,
hey, let's do Julie. What's wrong with her?
She's not Rachel.
She's not Rachel. The fact that she's not Rachel outweighed all the pros and cons of both of them. And timing is, again, timing with the right thing and filling a void, it has a lot to do with this. If I'm someone who's very stressed, for example, and very busy, there's a lot of weight. It holds its weight in gold to find a woman who's not perfect so much as there is someone who's very flexible with their schedule, who understands I'm busy, and who's very patient with me being that. Me being a businessman, for example, and doing YouTube and always, have the hustle muscle and always on the grind and doing this kind of shit, it's very important to find a woman who understands that and who gives me my space and who understands that I'm always busy, who's very patient with me because of it, right? So sometimes it's very, very important to fill a void instead of trying to check off this man's list. Now, again, if you want to know how to find out what his void is and things like that. I talk about detective work and all that kind of stuff in my course, Attraction Academy. Link is down below. But it is very important to try to become the best version of yourself, not to try to change who you are for this man. But at the same time, if you are able to fill a void with your attributes and characteristics and traits and things that you have, being the person you are, and you find out what he needs and you're able to fill that void and give him that, something that other women can't, you are going to succeed multiple times better than other women. There's a saying in marketing: if you can't be first, create another category. And this is kind of the same thing. Okay, so with that being said, ladies, I love you. Email sessions are back. Links are down below. Peace.